Hello and welcome to today's College of Idaho conversation. I'm here with Professor Jasper LiCalzi in the College of Idaho's Department of Political Economy. Today we'll be talking about the death of Al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden. Jasper, first off, could you tell me a little bit about the successful operation and the potential impact on President Obama's legacy?
Well, the president's always seen as the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, and that includes the intelligence gathering also. So anytime there's a successful types of mission, it makes the president looks good. And the other side, when there's something that's not successful, it can be very harmful. If you go back to the 1970s, you have President Ford in the Malagueas when they tried to retake a ship that was taken over by the Cambodians. That resulted in a great deal of loss of life, probably unnecessarily. That hurt him. And then the bigger case was with Jimmy Carter and trying to rescue the hostages that the Iranians were holding, and that went down very poorly. What Obama can now look at is this is his first kind of independent military action that he's been in charge of, that he put out, and it came out very successfully, even though sounds like there was some problems with mechanical issues with the helicopters and such. The crew still did very well. Everybody has to pretty much give him and of course the troops a great deal of credit for this. What this really does for him is he's never, since before he was elected, seen as a foreign policy military type of a president. This gives him kind of some street cred almost amongst some of the people who want to make sure that their president is strong in foreign affairs and especially with the military. So this, more so than anything else, takes away some questions that people have and makes it tougher for some of his opponents in the election that's coming up to try to target this part of his work.
Great. With the presidential election about a year and a half off here in the United States, what potential impact do you think this operation will have on that election?
I think what you'll see, it's a long way off, so people will probably have forgotten most of it. It won't be in the front of their minds, but it'll still be there to some extent. Where I think you'll see initially in the next weeks, if not next month or so, is an improvement in Obama's job performance ratings. When people ask how good of a job he's doing, this will come to mind, and it will improve a great deal. Will help overshadow some of the problems he's having with people thinking about the economy, and especially for gas prices. People forgot about gas prices for a little bit here. So I think as far as improving his job approval rating, which is most important, that should be well. Basically, an incumbent president, if their job approval rating is over 50%, they're gonna win, and probably win quite handily. So that's what he needs to do, and his has been over 50% just in the last week or so. Again, because of the gas prices, for the most part, his approval ratings dropped. If this pushes him back up, that helps a great deal. And it also helps him in a practical standpoint also. When you're president, your approvals ratings are down, your opponents, especially in Congress, Republicans in Congress, are able to push you a little bit more than they would otherwise. With him being popular with the public, it makes it much more difficult for the Republicans to really try to get him to do something he doesn't want to do, or to try to make him look bad. They'll be somewhat more apprehensive in pushing the president if they see that he's really popular with the public. They don't want to push against the public themselves.
Now, in general, how important is foreign policy to the U.S. electorate?
Typically, it's zero. People don't believe it unless there's a war going on. I mean, that's not really foreign policy. So it's been different in the last decade since September 11th, because that's made foreign policy more important. But it has toned down. The economy is almost always the most important. What this can help Obama somewhat with is, again, it shows him as a strong leader successful leader. And then he's able to, supposedly starting this July, start drawing down troops in Afghanistan. Some people have questioned the drawing down of troops. This will make it seem like it's more relevant. It makes it seem like bringing down the troops. Here's a reason for it, because bin Laden's gone. So I don't think this will be in the front of people's minds, but it's always, foreign policy is often seen with a presidential election as being, you have to reach a certain threshold. The president has to be shown as competent in this area more than anything else, because it's what's most important. But it's not typically at the front of people's minds. It's the pocketbook issues. It's jobs, gas prices, and things like that. But for the president now to be able to kind of take foreign policy off the board, hey, I'm competent in this, I've shown that what I can do, that makes it much easier for him to be able to focus on the economy and domestic issues, which I think he'd rather do.